Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here, coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Monster Hunter World, and today I'm going to be bringing you another one of my Gunlance builds. As you guys are no doubt aware, when Raging Brachydios and Furious Rurikhan came out, I put out a video where I showed you two different Gunlance builds, and both of them used the Light Break Gunlance because it was the new wide shelling level 7 Gunlance, and it was the one that I liked more, so I focused my builds around that. One of those builds was more defensive, the other one was a little bit more offensive, but essentially both of those builds focused around the concept of wide shelling playstyle, which is basically poke shell poke for the most part. However, since I made that video, I was made aware because I watch a lot of videos from CaoSlayer, which if you guys don't watch CaoSlayer and you play Gunlance, do yourself a favor, subscribe to CaoSlayer. He does a lot of videos when it comes to Gunlance, and he's constantly doing deep dives into the Gunlance. I really love his work, so I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description box down below. Basically, in his videos, he was talking about how you should try out using charged shells on the wide shelling Gunlance, even though it's something that I'm not a huge fan of because you don't get quite as much reach as you get with the long shelling, but you definitely get a lot of stagger potential, and if you manage to land the charged shell on the Wyvern Stake Blast, it actually deals more damage than long shelling level 6 right now, making it, you know, the best Gunlance for wide shelling as well as long shelling, just out of sheer damage and stagger values alone. So I figured I would adapt the build that I was working on with both of those builds that I had done previously, kind of like try to mix and match pieces from both of them to come up with a more hybrid build that is both offensive and defensive, and also allows you to do charged shells in the middle of your hunts with wide shelling. And this is pretty much what I came up with, and it's actually a pretty good build in my opinion, so maybe you guys will check it out and let me know what you think about it. But let's get into it. We're going to be using the Light Break Gunlance. Obviously it's got a lot of attack, it's got a lot of sharpness, it's got some decent blast, and it's got some pretty sweet sockets as well. Wide shelling level 7, and then we have in augmentations, affinity increase, health regen, and element status effect up. Like I said in my previous videos as well, if you want to be a little bit tankier, you can swap out that affinity increase for health regen, but in this build, it actually makes more sense to keep the affinity up because we will have a decent amount of affinity that will get us the occasional crit, so it will be useful to keep that there. Now, anyway, taking a look at the decorations themselves on Light Break Gunlance, we're going to be going for a jumping evasion jewel 4 as well as a shield jewel. Personally, I always like to have guard up when I play Gunlance just in case I happen to be fighting a monster that has unblockable attacks, because the Gunlance doesn't quite have, you know, the same ease of, oh, let me just sheath my weapon and roll or something. It's not as easy unless you're going for speed sheathing, which we're not doing. So anyway, we're going to be using 4 pieces of Brachydios set. I'm going to be swapping around the alpha and beta to get the skills that I really want out of it. So on the helmet, we're going to be going with the alpha version. We're going to be putting a magazine jewel, mind's eye jewel, and vitality jewel. On the chest, we got the Brachydios male beta. We're going to be putting charger vitality as well as another charger jewel and an iron wall jewel. On the Brachydios bracers, we're going to be doing charger jewel and jumping jewel, and it's going to be the alpha version. On the folds, also alpha version, we're going to be putting in a braced jewel. Now you can place something else in here if you're playing mostly solo. But like I said, I like my builds to be viable in multiplayer, and having a brace decoration is just going to be very useful for that. When it comes to the legs, we're actually going to be taking the Silver Solgreaves beta. And I know some of you guys are going to be like, what? But we'll explain that. Anyway, and then we go for Earplug Vitality Jewel 4, as well as a Jumping Jewel and a Stone Thrower Jewel. We wrap everything up with Earplugs Charm 4. Like I always say, I love having earplugs with Gunlance. Gives you so many openings to just Wyvern's Fire or do something else in the middle of a roar that I find it particularly important to take full advantage of your Wyvern Stake Blast. Then we have the Glider Mantle with 2 Destroyer Evasion decos. As a matter of fact, this is one of the things that I really like to have on the main set itself as opposed to just on the mantle. But, you know, stat priorities, skill priorities just dictate that this is the way it all turned out. But, you know, this is what I like to have on the Glider Mantle. And then we have Temporal Mantle with 2 maintenance jewels to maintain that Glider Mantle uptime for as much as we possibly can. Taking a look At the final build here, we got Agitator level 7, Earplugs level 5, Artillery level 5, Health Boost level 3, Focus level 3, Evade Extender level 3, Guard level 3, Slinger Capacity level 3, and oh my god, so good to have Slinger. You guys have no idea. You have no idea. Weakness Exploit level 1, Capacity Boost level 1, Evade Window level 1 or 2 if you got the Glider Mantle up, Flinch Free, Mind's Eye Ballistics, Guard up, 2-piece Depart Breaker when Glider Mantle is up, and your Tool Specialist when the Temporal Mantle is up. Naturally, we got full set bonus from Brachydios with Agitator Secret and Artillery Secret. And so let me explain the Solgreaves beta right there. You can get the Solgreaves beta because the legs is the most expendable armor piece, in my opinion, when it comes to the Brachydium set, because all it's got on there is Weakness Exploit. And personally, like I always said, when I'm doing Gunlance, I like to focus more around the shelling than necessarily the damage of the pokes themselves, because I find the pokes to not be super strong. Sure, you can put crit boost and you can do all of these crazy things and they will deal a decent amount of damage, but most of your damage is going to end up coming from shelling, and that way you can also hit parts of the monster that maybe other weapons might be are not focusing on because they're not as good parts, because you can basically charge shell and do all of those crazy things that only the Gunlance can do. So this allows me to basically focus on different parts of the monster without needing to, you know, having all of these EFR skills, right? So the Silver Solgreaves allow you to bring 2 Slinger Capacity in, and then you put 1 more Stone Thrower Jewel in there, and you get 3 Slinger Capacity, and it makes a massive difference for Gunlance because it's going to increase the amount of time your Wyvern Stake Blast is on the monster. It's going to allow you to do 2 wall slams if you want to with the Gunlance, which is just like major, and it's just a really good quality of life skill to have for the Gunlance personally. Like, if you guys remember in the previous video that I did for this, that's something that I specifically said that, like, one of the things that I can't have on this skill and that I really want is Stone Thrower, so I figured I'd put the Solgreaves in there, and that allows me to have Stone Thrower up. But yeah, that's the build. Let me know what you guys think about it. I think it's a pretty solid build until we eventually get Long Shelling level 7, which is something that I personally can't wait for because I really like the Long Shelling playstyle. I know that it's not everybody's cup of tea, but, you know, until we get there, this is going to be like the next best thing and probably one of the most solid playstyles for the Gunlance for the foreseeable future. Anyway, come, I believe, 9th of this month, we're all going to be synced up, whether it's PC or console, so you'll be able to do this build yourself even if you are on PC. So I can't wait for that day to come so that everybody's synced up, everybody's enjoying the same events, all of that good stuff. I'll be streaming that event stuff probably over on Twitch. And yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Comment section down below if you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button. If you did not enjoy the video, hit the dislike button. Feedback is important as always. If you enjoy my stuff, subscribe, bell notification icon, all of that jazz. See you guys on the next one. Stay strong, and may your shields never break.